on this fresh edition of faithmiddleton.com, one of our favorites, what we call Anything Goes. None of us knows what the others are going to bring up. So my food buddies are here on this show. Chris Prosperi of Metro Beast Restaurant in Simsbury, Connecticut. Joanne Church in New London. Mark Raymond in Old Wethersfield. Our editor and contributor, Carl Franklin. And Carl, where are you live right now?
I am in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's very cool. What's the food like?
They have everything here. So there's a Thai restaurant around the corner that's really good. There's Mexican I went to today. There's Italian restaurants. There's just a little bit of everything. But, if you want to get the classic Scandinavian dish, it's going to be like fish, salmon, dill, cream sauce, that kind of stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yum.
I'll take salmon and dill all day long.
You bet.
I remember reading Julia Child's biography, and she was talking about how sad she was that she and her husband had gotten assigned to go to Iceland because she thought, what in God's name am I going to cook while I'm here? They were there for a couple of years. So she thought, where are the vegetables? So she gets there and she said the food was just fabulous. The fish was just unforgettable.
The lamb
which is really
especially
nice.
good.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to say, and of course our mascot is here, my Corgi Mix, Bon. He's curled up in his bed, and I can't wait to see his expression when we start talking about Iceland and fish. Guys, I know he just stuck his head up and looked at me like, are you kidding me? Okay, here we go. So anything goes. Chris, how about if we start with you?
Let's start with me. All right, so I got two things. Ready? One's real quick, and it's a newer restaurant. Well, kind of newer for me in Torrington that I just ate in. And oh my God, was it good. And it's called Geppetto's, and it's on 24 East Main Street in Torrington. And it's an Italian joint. And let me tell you, it was just amazingly good, from braised rabbit over pasta to fresh octopus to, the most amazing Italian wines. And for us in the Northwest corner to have a new good Italian restaurant, I love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is really great.
Awesome.
And now I have what I've been eating. So I've been making chicken soup again. And I don't know, it's gotten chillier at night, cold in the morning. I don't want to blow summer off already, but I'm telling you, I just take canned chicken broth and I put it in a pot with a little bit of water. So I take the whole quart, dump it in a pot, and then I put in maybe half that box full. I fill it with water halfway and pour that into the pot over the chicken broth, the little box stuff. And then I just turn it up to a simmer. And then as it's simmering, I just chop up some veggies. I did onions, celery, carrots. I put some turnips or rutabagas in there and some spices like a little turmeric and a little ginger and a little garlic, and just let it simmer. Cut up some chicken tenders or chicken breast and throw that in there. And then I just let it cook for about, 45 minutes and let it on a low simmer. And oh my gosh, I just drink it, eat it, and love it. And I don't know if it's just because it's getting a little chillier, like I said, or if my body needs it. But it's funny because the last time we talked about sandwiches and how everyone eats sandwiches, but soup's another one of those things, right? Yep. That's a go-to.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Always. Soups are just so warming and comforting.
It's getting to be soup season.
Yeah. I know. I don't want to blow off summer yet. I'm still eating tomatoes, but maybe it's time to start to cross over and make some soups.
I'd still love to get a little bit of a gazpacho out of the year. It's one of my favorites.
My tomatoes are still trickling in. They look kind of sad. I don't know how your plants are doing where you guys are, but my tomato plants look very sad. They're just little sticks, that stick out. No more leaves on them, and then they just have tomatoes hanging on them. And you're like, I wonder if plants are gonna die before the tomatoes ripen.
Right.
It's a race.
I did not have a good season.
I got a story for you guys. This isn't my dish, but remember I told you about my eggplant tapenade?
Yeah.
So I brought that to my cousin's house, and she's a chef. And her husband plays music. So I was up for the weekend before I came to Denmark, and we had a little jam session. One of their friends came over with his wife, And I brought some of that stuff and I put it out and he could not stop eating it.
Love
and his
it.
wife whispers to me, he hates eggplant.
Don't tell him it's in there.
And I said, did you tell him? She goes, no. I said, are you gonna? She says, no.
Nice. Great
He was-
food story.
He was like scarfing it down.
Love that.
I love it. I love it when they love something and they have no idea
Yeah.
what it
And
is.
then I'm like,
Yeah.
should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
You tell them a couple days after, let them enjoy
Right.
it for a couple days and say, wow,
Yeah.
that was so good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Why
Good
don't you
stuff.
make that, honey?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she might hit him with the frying pan.
Oh
Awesome.
boy. Okay.
Too funny.
Okay. How about Carl Franklin? What do you have,
Sure.
buddy?
Well, tonight I went with a Danish friend of mine I have here to this.
How many do you have? 2? 3 friends?
3 if you like the cheese, 1 for the prune, and no. So this was a Mexican restaurant called Sanchez, and it was one of those places where you go and they give you the 5 courses they're going to serve you. You don't order a la
Nice.
carte, right?
Love that.
So the 4th course was carnitas, but it was done in a different way than I've ever seen carnitas before. It was confit pork belly, confit meaning cooked in its own fat,
Boy.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
but it was sliced in chunks. And escabech jalapenos with sea buckthorn and thyme oil. I had never had
Okay.
sea buckthorn before. but
I was going to say, you
Never
lost me
heard
on
of it.
sea buckthorn.
sea buckthorn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see it on British cooking shows sometimes, and from what I understand, you have to be very careful with it, otherwise it'll overpower everything. But I couldn't even identify it.
Wow.
With a name like that, I would imagine.
Yeah. And then
Sea
there was
buckthorn.
fresh corn tortillas and jalapeno salsa, but it was good. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about my carnitas that I make that
Okay.
everybody loves. So
Love carnitas.
you basically take chunks of pork shoulder and you cook it low and slow in lard. Lard.
And I just want to say that, you can get, there's trashy lard and there's good lard.
Yeah.
And so if you go to the butcher, you want just say to them, you want to get the good lard.
You want the stuff that they
not-
render themselves, not the stuff that comes in a block of white, solid
Mass.
white block. Yeah.
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 It's hydrogenated.
Carl, where do you get your lard?
Well, I used to get it at Grass and Bone, which was a place in Mystic that
Oh,
went out of
yeah.
business.
Sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that
They went out of
place.
business.
Great spot.
Yeah. It was
But
so good, though.
Scott's Meats and Deli in East Lyme.
Yeah.
And also the Salem Prime Cuts will do it for you.
Yep.
Like
Oh,
any
wow.
really good butcher shop will.
Yeah.
We'll
Avon
do that.
Prime Meats
Yeah.
in this area,
Yeah.
I think, has it.
Yeah, it makes a big difference to get the real, what I call the real lard.
So in the fat, you put like some squeezed oranges and limes to get some citrus. And my friend even puts Coca-Cola in it. I don't do that, but
Interesting.
I'm a fan of cooking with Coca-Cola.
yeah.
The real sugar stuff you have to get to cook with it, not the corn.
But what
syrup.
happens
Yep.
is after it comes out, then you shred it and then you cook it in a pan until it crisps up.
Ooh.
Like the shredded pressed pork.
Yeah.
And that's what you put in your tortillas and your sour cream and all that stuff. Your tomatoes.
When are you inviting us over
love
again? When are you back?
Anytime, my friend.
When are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
What
stuff.
are you smoking next? We got you got to put something else on the smoker.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. All
Totally.
right. That means maybe we should go to Mark. Mark, what do you have?
All right. So I wanted to tell you guys about this interesting dish that I had in Grenada last week, and I don't think I shared it with you. So there's this local dish, and it's called Oil Down. OILDOWN.
Oh, you sent me the picture.
Yeah. And so we were moving our daughter in to Grenada for school, and I really wanted to try like one of the most local dishes that they have. And it was right around the time that they're having their carnival. So there's a lot of local dishes being made.
Mhm.
So we went to this little place called Patrick's in St. George, which is what everybody recommended. You had to go to Patrick's. They do a lot of Creole cooking. So I get there, and we had already had chicken and chips, which is a pretty standard dish on the island. And it's fried chicken, chicken wings with French fries, and they put all these different sauces on it. And I said to the woman, and this place was amazing. It was basically someone's house with a big front porch on it. And they actually use their own bathrooms as the public restrooms. And there's a gate that gets locked and closed when the restaurant's closed and up in the front of the house. So, I mean, you're talking about as local as you can get as a restaurant I've ever been in. So I said to the woman, I said, I'd like to try something local. And she said, you need to have Oil Down. And I was just flabbergasted by the name. I'm like, Oil Down?
Yeah.
What is it? And she's like, well, it's a stew that we make. And I'm like, stew? She's like, well, it's kind of a stew, but it's not really a stew. It's a one-pot dish. And in this dish, they have, for the protein, is pork tail, salted pork tails, chicken wings, and then there's breadfruit that has to be in season, which is this time of year. And then there is coconut milk, sweet curry, callaloo, which is like a local spinach.
Squash,
and they put this all in one pot, and they simmer it down until the broth becomes almost like a gravy. And then they bring it over, and I'll send you a picture of it.
It looked yummy. Hearty.
You put it onto a one plate dish, and so you've got the chicken wings, you've got the pork tails, and it's just this really interesting looking dish on the plate. But oh my God, was it ever so delicious.
It must be very gelatinous.
The curry and the coconut milk, and then you've got a little bit of that salt pork, and then the chicken is just really easy and tender, and everything just kind of falls off the bone. And the breadfruit has kind of like this sort of al dente vegetable kind of texture to it. It's really amazing. I was blown. I've been telling everybody about it since I'm like, the island of Grenada needs to talk about this dish because it should be shared with the world. The world would love this dish. It's that good.
I'm going to look it up.
Do they serve it with bread?
No. It's just it's a one plate, and you get
Seems
your fork
like a
and your
good
knife.
dipper.
I know.
Right?
A piece of bread would have been great to wipe up the sauce, but it all sticks right to everything.
Where does the name come from? Because you oil down? Is that what it is?
Oil
like
down.
Oil?
OILDOWN.
Like, I'm going to oil down my car.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like maybe originally it was boil down, and then it just became like oil down. I don't know.
Cool.
I'm totally guessing on that.
That's a good guess.
Hey, Mark, you're reminding me when you were describing that the restaurant was in a house. You were reminding me that was when I was in Barbados. We went into a spot like that, and there was a woman. We were at a counter with stools, and this woman sat down, and all of a sudden it became clear to me that she was of the restaurant. She wasn't, sitting there having breakfast. And so but she's right next to me, and she takes her hands and she looks down the row at everybody, and she slaps my thigh. And she said something like, "Look at this white skin. This is the whitest skin you have ever seen." And the whole place went crazy.
Oh my God.
That's
too funny. Too funny.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to you after these wonderful messages. We're at faithmiddleton.com. This is the new Food Schmooze, and our buddies are here, and this is called Anything Goes, and that means that nobody talks about any of this with the others. We just appear, and we just start having a conversation about food from, as you can tell, every angle possible. Our mascot, my dog Bon Bon, is in his bed down there, and as predicted, he did not lift his head up and look over here once. He can tell when I say things about meat. You know, he looks up. He's a corgi mix, and he is adorable. I love him to pieces. Okay, so
LAMB. He looked up.
He can spell.
Yeah, of course he can spell. Okay, so where are we? Whose turn is it? Is it
I think it's Joanne.
I think it's Joanne.
It is.
Okay, go,
So-
kid.
I don't think it's the end of the summer until the last farm stand closes.
Yeah.
Right.
So this week I went to Wapitituk Farm in Stonington.
Don't know that one.
And
Ooh.
it's the cutest. It's the most beautiful farm on Cove Road, 211. You have to go. It's so beautiful, and it's a little farm stand. And on the sign it says that it's from 1740. I don't know if it was a farm since then,
Yeah.
but in Native American, the name translate to "Let us eat together."
Nice.
So I thought that was really
Very
great.
cool.
That's
So-
awesome.
I
like
bought
that.
this kale for $5. It was the biggest head of kale that I steamed some. I used some for a salad, but then I made the best kale chips ever. Why, Chris?
yeah.
Because of my new air fryer.
Oh, congrats.
I was just thinking, I was like, oh, too bad you don't have an air fryer. It works great.
No, I think we got ours at the same time, but I've tried it in the oven, nothing like this. And it only takes like 5 minutes. You spray a little olive oil on it, some salt. It's most beautiful,
Yep.
stayed bright green, crispy.
Ooh.
We ate them all in one night. And Mark talked about gazpacho. So they carry gazpacho at the farm from Mystic Soup Company. And it's delicious. And it almost tastes a little like roasted tomatoes, which is
Oh,
a different, but it's and that's only $5, and it's great.
Oh, I'm going.
You have to go, Mark. You'll be so
know.
happy that you did. You'll want to move there. I also bought a eggplant, and I know last week we talked about eggplant. We didn't talk about baba ganoush, but seriously, it's like 3 ingredients. Other than once you cook the eggplant, I put it under the broiler. You just add tahini. I always have tahini in the back of the refrigerator.
Yep.
A couple of tablespoons, lemon and salt, and then just put
That's
it in a
it.
blender or food processor just for a couple of pulses, and it's so great. So that's what I did this week. Oh, also the farm sells beautiful flowers, and when I was there was a customer, and he had his 97-year-old aunt in the car, and he was buying her flowers for her 97th birthday.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
that's super cool.
That's
Beautiful
great.
So
experience.
sweet.
And the young farmer, you have to go. A young farmer, he's in his 30s. His mom helps out. It's
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's-
Family affair.
I'm definitely going to visit.
Sounds
Yep.
great.
way there. All right,
That's a
call
great
me.
little day trip.
Call me, Albert. Yes.
I call that a day trip with rewards.
Yep.
yes. Especially
That's
if they have
with
gazpacho
rewards.
already made for you.
And since you're that close, go on a Saturday and go to the Stonington Farmers Market. They have vendors from Fairfield. They have vendors from everywhere. And then the Velvet Mill. It could be a whole day, Mark.
Oh my God, I got to get the list from you.
I always talk about that there's this restaurant in downtown Guilford that I like because it's filled with flower boxes and it's got good Italian food. So Amarone is a wine, and that's why it has that name. And I try to get something different every single time just so I can try all the dishes. And I've definitely been through them once or twice,
Right.
all of them. So I had this time, a lemon pasta that was so delicious. You know, that sort of buttery lemon sauce on the pasta. And, so just the noodles and that and a little bit of greens on the side. And it was so delicious. I can't stop thinking about it.
That sounds good.
I used to, when I was in Italy, I was taught how to, I was leading a trip and I learned how to make this lemon pasta from a good friend of mine who lives there.
Wow.
And, it is so delicious. It's butter
With ricotta?
and no, just butter and lemon and lemon zest.
I was going to say lemon
And-
zest is a must in that.
Yeah. Oh
Yum.
boy. It was really, really good.
Wow.
I was thinking the other day, I haven't made that in a long time, and it seems like it's almost too late.
No.
I've got it in my head that summer's almost
With
over.
some grilled shrimp on top.
No.
Or
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think this is my
Yeah.
new, you turned me on to that lemon risotto years ago. I think I'm going to try this because I love lemon in things, and
Yeah.
lemon pasta
Yeah, me too.
sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
Just butter, lemon,
Yeah.
and zest, maybe a little sprinkle of cheese on
So
top.
easy.
You grate Parmigiano Reggiano
Of course
on
you
the
do.
top.
Over
Oh,
the
yeah.
top, right?
course.
Oh, heaven.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's best if it's fresh lemon
Yep.
Reggiano. And you have
Yeah.
a grater
Yep.
and you just grate
Maybe
it
a
on
little
top.
parsley sprinkled
Yeah.
over the top, and that's it.
You know what just occurred to me? I can't believe I didn't tell you about my training vacation that I'm teaching at a castle in Tuscany next month. I swear to
Are
God.
we invited?
I'm gonna, I'm
Well,
gonna,
In
I'm gonna have-
Tuscany,
Yes.
what village?
It's in the Maremma.
In the Maremma.
It's Tuscany off the beaten path with easy access to, excuse me, burp, with easy access to medieval walled cities and towns, the rolling hills of the Chianti wine region, and the Etruscan Riviera on the Mediterranean Sea.
Wow.
Etruscan.
That's a brilliant copywriter, I have to say.
Yeah. Here's the best part is that it's like a week long. You programmers come with their spouses. We program for 4 hours a day, and the rest of the day is all tours and food and wine.
Oh,
And you
brother.
get to stay in a castle.
I really have to go on this trip for work. It's
I
so
know.
important, and I'm going to learn coding. We have to spend the money. I don't want to go, but we have to.
You would love it, Chris. You would love it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sorry, I can't believe I didn't tell you guys about this, but there's going to be some amazing food there, and I will fill you in henceforth.
Oh, and take pictures. When is
Yes,
it?
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Can
It's-
you take pictures?
Yeah, of course. It's September 16th through 23rd.
Oh, it's in
Oh,
a couple
soon.
weeks.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
And if anyone wants to sign up and go with Carl on this trip, feel free. I'll
Yeah.
give you
Go to
our phone number.
thecastle.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to have lots
Oh
of
my
coding
God.
knowledge before, or is it for beginners?
You
too?
you have to be a web programmer familiar
yeah.
with a few things. Yeah.
Are you making
Wow.
that up right now?
No.
No.
No, I'm serious.
Hey, so on that whole lemon pasta thing that you were talking about, Faith,
Yeah.
last night on an impromptu, my wife was like, let's just have some pasta tonight. So I had some fresh pesto that I had just made from the garden and from my garlic that I grew this year, fresh basil from the garden. I put a little bit of lemon zest in mine, and we did that with some grilled shrimp and oh my God, with a little gemelli pasta. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
just perfect. Quick and easy.
Perfect
Wow.
weeknight meals, right?
Yeah.
Pasta is king.
Artichoke pasta in a bag is a lot easier.
Oh, artichoke
It's
pasta
not
in a bag.
horrible as long as you have a good sauce.
What's that?
It's artichoke pasta. It's like not
in a
I mean,
bag?
yeah, in a bag.
So you buy
In a
a
bag.
bag and you
You buy a bag, you open it, it's already cooked. You
Oh.
rinse it off with
Oh.
water
Yep.
or wine or whatever you rinse
Yep.
your
Oh,
pasta.
I thought you mean pasta made out of artichokes. I thought you meant pasta with artichokes. I misunderstood you. Yeah.
yeah.
I've had that.
All better
yeah, it's
now.
Good.
In a
I
bag.
was like, what?
Oh, you have some cream sauce in the bag. You just open it and boom.
Yeah, I was
It's
like, you lost all of
delicious.
us. We're sitting here going, oh, I've heard of
sorry.
cooking in a bag. I've never had pasta in a bag before.
Yeah, I have had artichoke
It's
pasta.
what the astronauts do. I mean,
Yes,
really,
it's what
that's what
the
they do.
I couldn't live without angel hair, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I love it too. I don't think there's a pasta I don't like.
Yeah, agree.
I love the little ditallinis. Those are my favorite. Because you can eat them with a spoon.
Yeah, I know, Chris. So I guess I hate to do this, but unless anybody has something else that they want to talk about, something special.
I do have something.
Oh,
Okay.
When I was at my cousin Hillary's house over the weekend, she's a chef, so she put together a charcuterie board, and she also made these little. Now she's from the Swedish side of my family, so she made these little fresh, cold cucumber slices with like a cream sauce, and then a shrimp and dill on top, like a little sprig of dill as these little rounds, these little canapes. Mm-hmm. But I loved it because, there's A, no carbs. B, they're just delicious.
And bite-sized, one bite.
Bite-sized, yeah. So
that
good.
sounds like the herring we all get in the supermarket in a jar.
Love herring.
Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Salty shrimp.
Not in a bag.
I'm looking at Mark. He's trying not to laugh. He's like,
like herring, but different.
like herring, but not herring.
Too funny.
Okay. So, all right, we're going to be on our way because we're going to see you next week, or we're going to be with you next week. And we'll see if we can get Carl, too, from Tuscany. We'll see if the timing works.
Boy, that'd be
cool.
cool.
We'll try very hard to do that. Yeah. And Mark, are you around next week?
I am. I'm actually going this weekend back to Grenada. My daughter's getting her white coat.
Oh, very cool.
She is?
Yeah.
She's going to be a veterinarian, right?
Yeah.
That's so
and
cool.
So they give,
Super cool.
instead of a diploma, they give you like the white coat to put on the...
Well, you actually get it at the beginning, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So as you start the process, you get the white coat to wear during, all your labs and things like that.
Yeah. When I was just in the, this is not exactly food, but I was at the vet with our mascot Bon Bon, and watching the, I guess the vets in training who were there and how they hold the dogs for the vet who's doing the examination. They put their arms around, the front and the back, and so that their arms their fingers are almost intertwined in the front. And that way the dog can't move, but it's got the pressure of the arms on it. And you can tell they're not as scared. So I'm interested if your daughter, to see if she, if they do that kind of thing.
I'll have to ask her about that.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. They're coming up with all ways to just keep the animals calm and relaxed while they're obviously going through any kind of procedure or just a regular checkup.
There is no way that my dog is calm in the vets.
Most dogs are not calm in that situation, for sure.
Yeah.
No.
And it's not like anything horrible has happened, except once. And then, so that created a kind of nervousness from that point on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funniest thing I've ever saw, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners have animals and pets and things like that. But the funniest thing I ever saw was we took our dog to the vet one day, and she was all, really shaky and nervous. And the doctor walked in, took a spatula of peanut butter and just put it on the side of the table and just kind of spread it on the wall there.
Wow.
And so it's a stainless steel table, so it washes right off.
Right.
So she just hops on the table and starts licking away.
Wow,
and she can do whatever
genius.
she wants while she's.
That's genius.
That is genius.
I was like,
distracting, but right?
How did I not ever think about that?
Well, here's another one like that. I know a place where you can go and get a mammogram and have white wine, which is
what?
Just,
That's romantic.
Yeah, it's like women are invited to come in groups, and it's like a wine party, and you have your mammogram while you're there. Which is, I thought this doctor was a genius. I really did.
Hey, if it gets him there and gets him into the appointment,
just thinking, if that's what gets people to
half
do
the battle,
their
right?
checkups, yep.
Yeah. This is Faith Middleton. I'd like to make another appointment.
I don't know.
Yes. You were just here, Faith. Oh, I can't come back every Friday?
Can't come back a third time.
Yeah. Could you tell me who brought those stuffed figs last time for this mammogram? What was her name?
Are you going to do a cookbook?
Faith, I just don't see it working for a prostate party.
No.
Probably not.
Because that would be beer, of course.
I don't know.
All right, we are going way
out of bounds.
Carl stopped at 10 minutes ago,
Edit.
No. Come on.
That was
This
fun,
is
though.
the fun show. Yeah, it is. Right. Okay, so see y'all later. We'll see you next week. And can't wait because it's so much fun on this show.
Safe travels, Carl.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Carl.
Ciao, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Waiting for the summer to come.